Well, thank you for having me. My name is Filipe and I work for this company here, Zing. In case you don't know us, Zing.com. I've been working there for 6 months already. By the way, I'm originally from Brazil. And before that, I was working at a company called Dahlia Research, also amazing. The CTO is over there. Zing is also an amazing company. And one nice thing that Zing does is hack weeks. And a hack week at Zing, basically we have a whole week to work on whatever project we want with the goal to learn or to improve something inside the company. And I got very lucky because on 2 weeks, on 6 months working there, I've been able to participate in 2 hack weeks. And in one hack week, I did a project, mostly alone, and I'm presenting it to you today. I'm sorry I didn't have much prepared. It was a talk I decided to just do it this morning and out of the blue. And where is it, my mouse? And I can say that I immediately regret this decision. But as soon as we are here, let's do it. Let's hope I don't embarrass myself or the company. Yeah. I guess I'm going to embarrass the company a little bit then. I'm going to show a little bit. This is the user profile, my user profile at Zing. And actually to build this page, we have to call several different APIs. Zing has hundreds of developers working on different applications, and some of these applications are distributed, so we have a bunch of API calls that we have to make. So, mainly this is the profile, and from the profile mostly we get these data here like name, position, current position, the name of the company, the city, and have some skills and wants and professional experience. This is all from one languages, educational background. This is all from a single API. But you see this thing here, like this is the skills that I have. But this thing here, this top skills, I have to call a different API for that. And I don't know why they make it like this. But either way, it's like that. And several applications besides Zing, we need the user data to show this data. And we do have a gem. And what this gem does, it calls all the APIs that it needs to use, all the APIs it needs to build this user data. And it actually holds a copy of this in our local database. And imagine now, even with the new privacy laws in Europe, you having to delete user data from dozens of applications with millions of rows of databases and copy it all over. I mean, this would be a mess. And also, when we need to update this data from a single user, or let's say we need a new column or new data from a user inside our application, we have to refresh the data for our more than 30 million users, and that takes a long time to run. So I decided to go with this project, which is cached REST model. It was called Zing cached REST model before, but I decided to put it publicly so everybody could use it. And it is a very simple gem. It's not quite ready for production, let's say. I built it as in 2 days, so please cut me some slack on it. It did a pretty simple thing. The goal of this basically is you have a model object. It doesn't have to be an active record model, and it can be any class. And you can compose this model with attributes, and these attributes are bound to an API call. And it's going to get these attributes from these web servers and add this as methods inside your model. So, yeah, what you have to do basically to use it is to extend, well, install the gem, obviously, and then you extend from the cached REST model base, and then you can have your own cached REST model class. Here I call it cached user because I need a cached user in my application. And, well, then you can create attributes, and what you do is you create a cached REST model module, and we also have this module inside the gem, and you can then generate your own modules inside this cached user attributes module, and then you can add your methods here, and with your methods you just call the API. So it's kind of ugly, this part. I'm trying to improve that a little bit, and I have a few to-dos, but basically after you set up all your attributes modules, you can then include that in your cached model. So you can work with composition, and one single class can have attributes coming from different several APIs. And showing a little bit of the code, it's pretty simple code. Actually, and I didn't show you before, but this is using cached calls, and it's using a Redis store for the caching. Yeah. So this is some metaprogramming to set a key name. This is the base key that we use for the REST calls. And then you have to set a host also in your base model. And yeah, basically this is the cached REST model attributes class. So what I'm essentially doing, I just call an API and I wrapped it around a cache. Pretty simple, right? And then you can compose your data models with this API calls REST, cached REST API calls. What's the benefit of having this API calls cached and using a single database? Let's say I have several different applications, and all these applications is using the same API. I don't have to call the several APIs. I can have one single cache and share this cache among all these applications. And well, the speed will increase dramatically because, well, Redis is, or if you want to use Memcache or other cached backend, you can, but right now I'm using Redis, and well, it's much faster than other applications. It holds your data in memory, and well, it's going to improve the application pretty much. So this is an example of how I would create an attribute, right? So yeah, this is the top halves that I told you, and I have these attributes top halves, and I'm getting it from the profile user top halves. This is a little bit ugly as well. This is something that I have to refactor, and it uses the key name that I set for this model. And also, this is also getting all the profile data from the users, the name and such. So the good part of this, I don't have to hold the data of our application, of our user anymore inside our own application. I can just rely on the cache for it to do it for me. Let me show you an example, and this is what I have to do. I just include these methods, these modules inside my class, and I will have these methods here. I will have the profile method that's going to get the data from the API. Actually, if I already have called this in, let's say, another application, or let's say my own application previously, I'm just getting it from, here, the cached, okay? Because it's using the endpoint as the cache key. Yeah, here I hard set the expired in 1 week, because for us, for the user, the cached user perspective, it was good enough, so it was just a hack. But the idea is that to have this configurable. Also, our backend here, so like the Redis, it must be also configurable. So, well, I released this gem as today, actually. It was on our internal repository, and well, now it's on a public repository, and you can take a look or contribute with it. Well, the main goal of this gem, as I said, is to don't rely that much on holding your data of external applications. You don't have to do this anymore. You can just rely on the cache to do that for you. And the good part of using Redis for this or any backend cache tool is that you can share this caching data, just like you would use with a single database for several applications, let's say. But well, when we're dealing with data and you don't really want to share a database with several different applications for several reasons, but mostly because of data consistency. But if I'm just using a cache, I really don't care if my data right there is all 100% consistent. I can be sure that I just need to expire the data. It's going to get this data again from my APIs and my other applications. Again, was pretty quick hack. It was aimed to solve the problem. Well, in the end, it was not adopted in the company, because we have like a huge system for caching that's being built using Kafka and streams and everything. So this was a very simple solution. But well, it's done. It was a work that I've done. I think it's useful for small applications and other applications that I've built. And well, I hope it's useful for other people. And well, contributions are always welcome. I have to say that this this gem was a little bit inspired by a node gem that we have in Rails, that it's removed from Rails for a long time already, which is called Active Resource. I don't know if anybody has worked with it, but it was basically you created a model with it, and you just set up endpoint, a REST endpoint, and you had everything already set for you. Let's say the creation, just like an active record model, but using REST APIs. And you have validations, you could have all new and create, save, update methods. It was already going to trigger the API calls based on the REST implementation of your APIs. The bad part about that gem is it was very immature, and it was, ever since it was removed from Rails, is not very well maintained anymore. And after that, I never saw a gem inside Rails that would solve these problems of helping us in the backend to call different APIs and to work with a microservice or a service-oriented architecture. What I see most people doing is basically using direct HTTP calls and then dealing with the data and, well, parsing this JSON data and doing weird stuff with it. But, well, my goal was to build an object out of it with methods that you can really work on. You could use validations and, well, I really want to make this gem work and to reach some maturity that would help us to, well, work with microservices and service-oriented architecture in the backend again. I'm using basic Natch HTTP. I'm not using like HTTP party or any other gem that is going to help us to make HTTP calls. I don't think it's really needed. Ruby already has HTTP built in. But I do have a lot of to-dos already. Like, well, your REST hosts can change based on environment. That's not something that I have think about at the moment. Right now it's only using an internal Redis server. So yeah, the gem just expects you to have a Redis server running, and well, actually it would use the Redis server on your host, on your local host or your server, so it's not configurable yet. It's not handling HTTP errors. So yeah, if you have an HTTP like a 404 or 500, well, it's not going to show much. It's just going to show the these data, these errors in your method, in your model. And at the moment, I'm also just parsing the HTTP responses as a string. So what I wanted to do is to parse this and turn that into actual methods inside our models. It's going to need a little bit of meta programming for that. Yeah, also cache keys. Inside Zing we have something called URN, the unique identifier for each of our API calls. And well, we could use that. It was something that's on the milestone. Also, yeah, exploration of cache. This is a hard thing to do. It's a hard topic. Inside Zing, we use MQP messages, and for each event that happens, we use MQP messages. The idea would have, let's say, if a user is updated or if it's deleted or something, I just expire the cache. I don't have to actually change that data, let's say call the API again to update the data and have a database call again. I just expire that cache, and the next time I need that data again, then I'm going to fetch it. Well, also, yeah, I need a main attribute. Well, that's, I guess that's already solved actually. So, yeah, that's what I have done so far. This is very immature work yet. It's not ready for production, but well, I hope that it gives you a little bit of what we're kind of things that we're doing in the Hack Weeks at Zing, and well, if that also gives any insight for your own problems with your own applications with a microservice or service-oriented architecture. Also, I have to say that Zing is also hiring. So.
No.
So if you want us to work with us, you can approach me or any Zing employee. Toby is there as well. He can help you getting a job at Zing. That's it.
Okay.